Hello everybody, Slim Kirby here, and if you are watching this video and if you see the title, you know that this video is actually going to be kind of my thoughts and impressions over the 24-hour anniversary stream that I had the other day. I had this stream on August 5th, 2017. It lasted until August 6th, 2017. I streamed for 24 hours straight. And the reason I did this was just kind of a gift for you guys, all of my fans and all of my viewers, because I've been doing work on YouTube for over 10 years, and I feel like the best way to show appreciation is to just kind of do what I do best, just kind of continue to make content and also hold special events and celebrations for you guys. And that's pretty much what the 24-hour stream was. I try to do a 24-hour stream every single year. Last year I actually did a Mario Party marathon. A few years ago I did a Mario marathon. Near the beginning when I actually started YouTube, I did a Donkey Kong Country marathon. I did a Kirby marathon at one point. So basically I've done 24-hour streams before. I usually have a lot of fun with them, and I was honestly having a really good time with this one as well. So I just want to kind of give my thoughts and reflections on everything that happened and just kind of go over that stuff and then talk about a few other things that have kind of been on my mind as of late. Also kind of talk about what to expect in terms of videos that will be posted on this channel as a result of that event and just stuff of that nature. So the first thing I'll get into is, I guess I'll go ahead and get into that first thing, or that last thing I talked about just now. As far as videos are concerned, I will be posting basically segments from the 24-hour stream. Not immediately, but I will kind of start getting into that habit of doing that like every weekend, in addition to the content I already release on the weekends as well. So there'll be just kind of extra content, and I do want to eventually get basically everything, or almost everything, from the 24-hour stream on my YouTube channel. And I'll go and get into some of the specifics of why not everything in a little bit when we actually get to the negatives. But yeah, I will be doing that, so do not worry. Just give me some time to kind of get caught up in everything else. And then I can start going through all that stuff and start editing that stuff maybe a little bit if I need to. And then I can start posting that as time goes on. And it'll be kind of like, pretty much like I said, it'll be a segment of that every single weekend until everything I want is on YouTube as well. And that way, if you missed everything and you don't really feel like watching it all on Twitch, you can still watch it on YouTube as well. So just stay patient for that. I'm going to also do the Name That Tune that I also did on stream as well. I'll probably actually do that first, since that was the first thing that happened for my anniversary, not the 24-hour stream. So I'll be working on editing that a little bit. Because of the nature of that competition, I want to edit out any of the dead space where there wasn't much going on, or I didn't like I let a song play on for too long, stuff like that. Just so it's a more viewer-friendly format, I guess you could say. So I'll be working on that. Again, I'll probably be focusing on some other things first that I have kind of a higher priority to, but I will try to make sure all of that stuff is up by the end of the year. I say end of the year, I mean it should all be up like before the end of fall at the absolute latest, but I'm just kind of giving like an in general deadline for myself, because again, I have a lot of stuff I have to get caught up with, and I want to make sure I get all that other stuff taken care of first. So moving on to the actual stream event, like I said, it was a good time. I had a lot of fun. It was a great time. It seemed like a lot of other people really enjoyed the event as well. All of my co-commentators, all of my moderators had a good time, and I really appreciate them helping me out as well. I'll kind of get into that a little bit later too. And honestly, I do feel like calling the event a success. There definitely were some issues and there were some problems, but you can't really stay fixated on the negatives. You have to definitely focus on the positives, and there were definitely way more positives than there were negatives. So that is the first good thing that happened. As far as the things I did for this stream, I started out by playing Mario Party. I did Mario Party 1. I did a 50-turn board game of Mario Party 1. Afterwards, I moved on to the Simpsons Hit and Run, where I set a goal for myself for during that 5-hour period of time. I was going to try and beat the entire game, and then later on in the stream, when I actually had some more time, I would go back and try to actually finish beating the game if I needed to, and then trying to get the 100% requirement to fully complete that game. I'll get into the details of how that went a little later, but that is essentially what I did. Then, when the weekly randomized Link to the Past race happened, I switched over to that, did a weekly race of that. That went pretty well as well. After that, we moved on to the Crystal Star Studio block, where I played the Maze game remastered. Didn't play through the whole thing, but I did show basically what the game was. I also get to have kind of a mini reunion with Crystal Star Studio, which is what I really wanted, because a lot of you guys know I have a huge history with those guys, and it was great to talk to them for a while and interact with them again. We actually did that last year for a stream that Eric had over the summer, and it was a hilarious co-commentary session for one of his streams, and it was honestly like one of the biggest highlights of last year for me. And this year, kind of just getting to hang out with him again was also amazing. I really wish the Pasta King would have actually been able to show up, but unfortunately we don't exactly have contact with him right now, and the method we were using to actually do the commentary together, I don't even think he has, because we were using Discord, which I don't even think he even has a Discord account. So unfortunately, we couldn't get into contact with him, but it was still a 6 out of 7 Crystal Star Studio reunion, and I think that was pretty cool, so it was great for that. And after we finished up with the Maze game remastered, we moved on to kind of a spur-of-the-moment session of the stream that I came up with a few days before the stream actually happened, which I called Retro Game Domination, where I basically played through a lot of old retro games and tried to actually beat them as quickly as possible. And I actually did that with a lot of games that are generally pretty quick, and games I kind of like to speed through when I'm playing them. Those games consisted of Kirby's Dream Land, Super Mario Land, Super Bomberman, and Pieces. I actually wanted to also do Sonic the Hedgehog 3 during that stream. Oh no, I also did Super Smash Brothers. I almost forgot about that. But yeah, I did the original Super Smash Brothers one-player mode as well. But yeah, like I wanted to do Sonic the Hedgehog 3 because a lot of people really wanted me to do a Sonic game. But unfortunately, the emulator I was using wasn't really emulating properly and wasn't translating over to the stream very well. I have no idea what was with that. Maybe my emulator was missing some plugins or something. I have no idea. I don't know why it was screwing up so badly, but I just ended up not doing that, and I went with Super Bomberman and Super Smash Brothers instead. And then, yeah, I closed off with my Pieces speedrun, which I got a new PB for that. That was like a much better time. I had like a 21-minute time before, and I actually finished it in 18 minutes that time. So it was pretty cool to actually do that. I'm getting, honestly, I'm getting kind of close to the world record of Pieces, so maybe I'll start speedrunning Pieces or something. But no, honestly, it was a good time. Halfway through the Retro Game Domination, I also switched over to the Puddle Plains commentary blocks, where I had 2 different shifts of Puddle Plains members, and we had a good time kind of talking with those guys as well. And honestly, it was a really, really good time. So after I finished the Retro Game Domination, I moved on to Super Mario World, which, as you guys know, is my favorite game of all time. But I advertised the Super Mario World playthrough as a Super Mario World playthrough with a twist. And sure enough, there was a twist involved, and I actually played the game on randomized mode. So I used a Super Mario World randomizer. All the levels were randomized, all of the sub-levels were randomized, power-ups were randomized, enemies were randomized, and I tried to play through the game 100%, which I did do, and honestly it was a lot of fun. So I'm really, really glad I decided to do that, because you know, Super Mario World is a game that's very important to me. I say all the time that it's my favorite game of all time, and I've streamed it a number of times too. So it was kind of cool to actually show that off and actually play through the game in a much different way. So definitely had a lot of fun with that, and it seemed like a lot of people really enjoyed that as well. After I finished up Super Mario World, I went back to the Simpsons Hit and Run and tried to finish up that playthrough. I guess I technically finished it. I didn't do the 100% requirement, but again, I'll talk about that a little later. And after that, I did one final Mario Party game where I played Mario Party 2. I did a 50-turn game on Western Land. I had the game and the board actually voted on by people who attended the stream. Mario Party 2 was the game that won, and Western Land was the board that won. So that was pretty much what I did for the final moments of the stream. I ended my stream at 8:30 in the morning, and yeah, I went on for basically 24 hours. So that was the basic progression of the stream. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and honestly, I wouldn't have a problem with doing it again. Obviously, with different categories of stuff. I wouldn't do the exact same thing over again, but you know what I'm saying. I would do 24 hours again because I always have a lot of fun with them, and they're always a really, really good time and just really good events in general. So now I'm going to actually move on to the things that kind of bothered me about the event, kind of the things that were, I guess, kind of the low points of the stream. And then afterwards, I'll move on to the things I really loved, and I'll just kind of talk about all the things that just were that just went very, very well. So getting into all the negatives, the first most obvious thing that bothered me were tech issues and internet issues. Like those things are always generally a very big concern for me. I don't have the best internet where I am right now. We've tried upgrading our internet several times to no avail. We just have a very, very poor provider and very, very poor internet speeds as a result. And obviously I don't think I'm doing like the best in terms of the tech that I'm using. I use OBS, I use Elgato Capture Card. I mean, I'm using things that honestly are pretty good, but like, I don't know if my computer's not strong enough for a lot of these things. I don't know if it's just the internet as well, but just, you know, there's definitely a lot of things that could be improved in that department. And I think the biggest example was as I planned to start the stream at 8 o'clock, but when I tried to get things started, for some reason OBS wasn't recognizing my capture card, so I had to restart my computer, which takes a long frickin' time to do. It seriously takes like 10 minutes for my computer to actually restart properly. And as a result, everyone was waiting. I felt really bad for making people wait, but there was not much I could do. I had to restart, and sure enough, when it came back, I did figure out the problem. I don't really know what the problem was. I think it's just if you leave your computer on for too long, sometimes it just won't recognize certain things, and that's why it just really wasn't working right. So I started the stream 30 minutes late, and because of that, I actually went 30 minutes longer than I initially planned to end the stream, because I wanted to make sure I did the full 24 hours, which I did. I think I definitely did, so I'm very happy about that. And I'm glad that we actually got it all working, because you know, it was really frustrating to me, and it really kind of put me in a bad mood to start with as well, and I just don't like when that happens. The second thing I want to talk about is, I kind of alluded to this earlier, but the Simpsons Hit and Run playthrough. That was honestly the thing I was looking forward to the most when doing this stream. However, it actually ended up being the lowest point of the stream for me in terms of the different blocks that I've done. Honestly, both sessions were incredibly, I don't want to say bad. I'm sure there was definitely things to enjoy from all the different moments and clips that happened during that. But I don't know, I just didn't really enjoy the playthrough that much. I don't know what it was. I haven't played the game pretty much since my Let's Play, so that could have been one thing. I was just kind of out of practice, and, you know, that's probably my fault. I probably should have played the game beforehand, but, you know, I'm a very busy individual. I'm recording videos all the time for my channel. I'm doing streams all the time, so I just didn't really have time to put the game in and play it, but it's a really big shame that that playthrough just didn't go as well as I wanted it to. I was just playing really badly. The later parts of the game took so long to get through. Some of the missions, seriously, like I felt like some missions took me like half an hour to an hour to actually complete, and I just did not like that at all. Some of the people who actually watched the second session when I was trying to finish up the game, I actually was planning on doing a 100% playthrough of the game. I really wanted to actually do a full 100% completion, because in my initial playthrough, while I did do like all of the easy to 100% things, I didn't actually get all of the different vehicles and character clothings, because, you know, they require coins to actually buy, and you have to do a lot of coin grinding to even get those things. So I kind of just ignored that stuff in my initial playthroughs, and I wanted to actually go for that stuff in these playthroughs. But it was getting to the point where the main story was taking me so long to get through that I just couldn't fit all of the other stuff in, and I had to get to that last Mario Party game. So I ultimately decided, you know what, I'm just going to go to the end of the game. Once I complete the game, I'm done with it. It's actually kind of funny, when I completed the last mission, the game actually crashed on the cutscene. So we didn't even get to see the final cutscene of the game. It literally crashed right as I finished the last mission. I got the mission complete, it was done, it was over, but the cutscene never freaking loaded. So that was, it was a hilarious, but also just kind of spoke for the entire run by itself. And, it also didn't help that, I got to the second part of the session of Hit and Run during, it was the 2 a.m. to, 5 to 6 a.m. block. So because of that, I was really, really tired. I was definitely feeling the weight of being up for 24 hours for this stream. So, that was a reason why I was playing kind of badly as it was, in addition not really having practice with it. And in some cases, I did get lost in a few accounts as well, and I kind of forgot how certain things worked. So that also didn't help. But yeah, it was just a really, really frustrating playthrough, and it's a really big shame that it was, because I was very excited to play Hit and Run, because as you guys know, it's probably the most popular YouTube project on my channel. That's the channel where I really feel like my channel started taking off, I guess. And it's a shame that I come back to it to celebrate my anniversary, and it just kind of led to so much frustration, which is just a huge, huge shame. I feel really bad for people who really wanted to see that. From what I've noticed, a lot of people who wanted me to play that still enjoyed what I played anyway, but I am just not proud of that playthrough, and honestly, as a result, I really don't want to put that playthrough on YouTube, because it's just such a huge, difference from what my initial attitude towards the game was during my playthrough, and it's just I don't really want to put that on that game, which honestly I love the game. I think just due to the circumstances though, and it also didn't help that I was already kind of over time anyway due to the late start that I had, that just, I felt rushed through the game, which honestly I probably wasn't as rushed when I did my playthroughs, and it just kind of led to a poor experience overall. So this is what I'm going to tell you guys. I'm not going to put that playthrough up on YouTube. I'll still try to keep it up on Twitch, though, so you can watch it if you want to see what exactly went down. But I'm not going to put it up on YouTube, because honestly, if I do ever want to go back to Hit and Run, I don't want to have an experience like that. I want to have an experience that I think people will enjoy. So, I'm not going to say if it's going to happen or when it's going to happen or anything like that, but I'm not going to really worry about it right now. At some point in the future, maybe I will do another Redux of Hit and Run just to kind of show the game for what it is, and just kind of give the game a better representation than what I did during the stream. So that's just something I wanted to rant about a little bit. Again, I'm sorry if anyone was kind of turned off by the game or was disappointed by that particular playthrough, but some things you just can't really sometimes you just can't really control things like that when they happen, and that's just kind of what happened for that playthrough. So that's another thing that I was kind of not really happy about in terms of the stream. As far as anything else that happened during the stream, I mean, there's always the usual stuff, people acting up, people being very disrespectful to me and my moderators and stuff like that. But that's not really something I want to focus on or fixate on that, because that kind of stuff just happens in streams in general, so that's not really worth my time to really mention that. Maybe at some point in the future I'll go on a little bit of rant about that, but for right now I think that's pretty much all I want to talk about in terms of the negatives. I actually want to get to the positives of this stream, and honestly, like I said, there were a lot of positives. I don't feel like going into detail about every single positive, but the biggest thing I want to say, and I'm going to get this out of the way right away, but you guys are freaking amazing. Seriously, not just in terms of the 24-hour event, but also just in general. There have been people who have supported my channel for so freaking long, people who have been around for so long, people who have subscribed, people who have donated money to my channel and the Slim Kirby Fund and stuff like that. I can't tell you how much it means to me, and there was so much of that during the stream as well. just so many people coming in, saying some really nice things to me, and just kind of really making my day, kind of verifying the reason why I did what I did in terms of hosting the 24-hour stream. Because seriously, you guys are freaking amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better fan base. I couldn't have asked for a better viewer base. And honestly, just all the support I got during the freaking marathon was incredible. And I want to thank everybody for that. I got some really nice donations. WootMasterzorzX, for example, donated 10,000 stream bits, which is about the equivalent of $100. And like, just getting that form of support is just incredible, that there's people who are actually willing to donate to my channel and donate to my cause. And it's just like, it's incredible to know that you can have support like that from a bunch of, like, you know, other like-minded gamers and just gamers in general. So that's the first thing I want to say. It's just that the support for this event was incredible. I couldn't have been happier with all of that. There were times where I seriously just wanted to cry, because it just, seeing all that support was just, it meant the world to me, and I want you guys to really know that. I mean, I know that there were some things that happened during the 24-hour that were, you know, definitely frustrating, but overall, it was mostly you guys that helped me through it, just kind of having that positive and supportive interaction with you guys that just really, really, it did great things for me, and I just really want to thank you guys for all of that. And more than that, I want to give a huge, huge shout out to all the members of the old Crystal Star Studio channel. I want to give a shout out to all the members of Puddle Plains. I want to give a shout out to my entire moderator staff for the stream. Like, you guys were seriously my rock for this whole thing. You kind of kept all of this incredibly steady. It went very smooth, and you know, a week before this event, I was still struggling to get everything figured out, because I wanted to make sure that everyone got an equal amount of time to do commentary. There were even some people who I wanted to get on commentary that I couldn't fit into the schedule at all, which was also kind of a shame. But yeah, like, even with all those complications, even like the split decisions I had to make, you guys were incredible. You kind of went along with it. You just did everything you could to support me, and it meant the world to me. I had so much fun during the Crystal Star Studio segment. I had so much fun during the Puddle Plains segment. Those were honestly like my highlights of the stream, because I literally got to spend pretty much my entire day with like all of my friends, and that's incredible. And you guys brought so much entertainment. I really hope that from this, like, all the people who are at my stream, I really hope that you did get a few extra viewers and a few extra subscribers for your YouTube channel, for your Twitch channel, just because, like, you guys are incredible, and I don't know, like, even where to begin. You know, one person I do want to specifically highlight and bring up is ShadowMarioXLI. You guys know that me and Eric kind of have a bit of a rivalry going on at some points, and you know, he's the representation of the number 41 and why I dislike that number so much. But you know, during that entire stream, he was advertising it on Twitter. He was helping me out during the commentary shift. He was helping me out as being a moderator too, and like, he said some of the most amazing things to me during that stream. Like, he said that, like, he's like, I'm an inspiration to him because of how hard I work and how, you know, far I've taken this channel. And like, seriously, like, that just made me feel better than I ever thought possible. And this is a guy that, as you guys know, we have kind of that rivalry where we kind of butt heads every now and then. But like, still, like, I couldn't have asked for a better friend than that, because just the amount of support he gave me during this stream was incredible. Even the things like that didn't happen at the stream, like, he's always, whenever we've had like a conversation somewhere, he's always just kind of talked to me and told me that how much he is impressed by the amount of work I do on my channel and stuff like that. And it just means the world to have a friend like that who is very aware of what you want to accomplish and just continues to support you and help you out through everything. And it just means a lot to hear that. And like, I know that I specifically highlighted him, but all of my friends too, like, just the fact that they came by to help out, and just because, you know, they were there for me, they took time off from a weekend that they could have had things planned, but they still came by to help out. That just, it means so much to me, and I just felt so much love during the event. I know that's kind of a cheesy thing to say, but it's true. Like, I felt so much love during that entire event, and it felt good to have that. So I just really wanted to say that. I really want to get that off my chest, especially because without you guys, this fun event couldn't have happened. And I think that speaks true of everyone. I think a lot of people are probably feeling the same way. A lot of people were saying the parts where I had guest commentary were some of the best moments of the stream, and I think that kind of shows that, like, we all work well together. We're all very serious about stuff when it comes to the goals we want to go for, and it's just a great feeling. So I just really want to thank you guys. And yeah, like, all the shifts that happened aside from that Simpsons hit and run shift all went very, very well. The only other, like, kind of low point I could say was the Link to the Past Randomizer Race, but even then that wasn't too bad. That was mainly just kind of, we had a rough start with that due to tech issues once again, and, you know, it wasn't the best run I've ever had either, so that was also kind of unfortunate. But still, it was still fun. I'm still glad I did that. Still kind of gave people a taste of basically what I do whenever I do those randomized runs. I kind of showed that, you know, I want to enter these tournaments. I want to get better at the randomizer races and stuff like that. So ultimately, I can just improve and do more good with that and just keep doing that because I have a lot of fun with it. And I think I did kind of show that. And it's kind of funny, like I said earlier, the retro domination session of the stream. That was literally a stream idea that I didn't have until like a week before the stream actually happened. I kind of just put it in there because, you know, I need to fill up time, and honestly, I think it worked. That was like quite literally a really, really good part of the stream, and I was really, really glad that I did it in that fashion because it was very enjoyable. It was just kind of like, you know, just hanging out with friends as I try to beat video games really quickly, and I just think that worked very, very well. And it's just kind of funny how the thing I was most excited for was the thing that kind of let me down the most, but the thing I wasn't really even sure about ended up being like one of the best sessions of the stream. So that was kind of cool how that worked out. It really, really was. So that's pretty much all I have to say about all the positives. I mean, like I said, there were a lot of really good things that happened. A majority of it was just kind of getting the amount of support I did from everybody, and I just really want to highlight that as something that just meant the world to me and made this event such a success for me. So yeah, that's gonna about do it. I guess the next thing I'll talk about is just kind of, I guess, moving forward, things to expect moving forward. Like I said, I will get these videos kind of set up because I would like to do them. I would like to put the most of these stream sessions on YouTube. But again, I'm gonna probably ignore the hit and run session just because that's just not a really good representation of what I want for that game and that playthrough, so I'm probably going to axe that. But everything else will be on YouTube. The anniversary Name That Tune will also be on YouTube. I just want to go through that and edit it first, as I already said, and I'll get to that as soon as possible. As far as future 24-hour streams, I'm going to try to do one every single year, probably around the summertime because that makes the most sense. Next year, it'll probably be like a marathon of a specific game. It could be like a Sonic marathon. It could be like a maybe another like Mario marathon. Maybe I can go back to the Donkey Kong Country games again. Maybe I can go back to Kirby again. There is also kind of a Super Nintendo marathon I wanted to do because those games aren't as long as like some of the other games, like from the 64, for example. So maybe like next year I could do like an SNES marathon where I play through like so many of my favorite SNES games and try to beat as many as possible. So there's a lot of different ideas I have for the future. I don't really want to declare what my next one will be yet, but there definitely are some options. So I will be doing more like that. It'll be in the future, and I'm glad that like this one kind of went well. Because at the end of the Mario Party Marathon last year, I was really, really tired. You could tell in those last few sessions I was seriously about to like doze off and fall asleep near the end of it. This time, I definitely felt the tiredness on the last session, especially as we were getting to the end of the Mario Party 2 game. But still, I managed to get by like just fine, and I didn't have any like caffeinated drinks or anything like that. So I actually did a very good job of actually preparing for it and actually having the willpower to stay up for as long as I did. And you can bet that as soon as I finished that stream, I went right to bed and I zoned out for like 6 straight hours. I felt good to sleep. It really, really did. So yeah, like I'm looking forward to the next 24-hour stream. It was a lot of fun. It was great, and you know, I'm looking forward to doing more like that. And aside from all of that, the 24-hour stream is done, which means that was the last event of the 10-year anniversary, which means going to get right back to making more YouTube videos, going to get right back to making more Twitch streams. I just really want to focus on all that stuff because I really want to keep doing this for you guys. I have a lot of fun making videos. I have a lot of fun streaming. Honestly, this has been an amazing part of my life, just being able to do this and do what I love doing, and I want to keep it up as long as I can. I know that this kind of work isn't as profitable as it once was, so at some point I will probably have to get a real job and stuff of that nature. But honestly, like, even with all that stuff, I'm still going to try to do YouTube because I have so much fun with it, and I hope you guys can see that in my devotion and my hard working for the past 10 years. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Thank you for listening to me for the long time that you have, and I will see you guys on the flip side for my YouTube videos, for my streams, for any website articles and stuff I do on my slimkirby.net website. I'll see you on Twitter for all the various rants and talks I go through on Twitter. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. I've said my entire piece, and I'll leave it at that. This has been Slim Kirby. Thanks for listening, everybody, and I'll see you guys later. Later, folks.